Welcome to the Insiders. I'm sitting with Matthew, the Baller Hayes. We're kicking off the final. This is our El Salvador recap audio notes. We got John, Florence, Yago Dora in the water. Gabrielle just got beaten by Caroline Marks. We're not misogynic, but we had things to do. We're only just being able to touch down. So we're going to commentate this final, tell you our thoughts. At the moment, we've got a head-to-head screen up saying that Yago Dora's 2 up on John, which is a surprising one. What are your thoughts, Hazy?
Yeah, surprising to see he's 2-0 up. But yeah, fun kind of couple of semi-finals with the girls and the guys. Yago went pretty nuts in his semi. And Caroline Marks is back-to-back champ. She's just won it, which was sick, like you just said. Their final was a little bit like
Lackluster.
yeah, and a bit one-sided. I thought like Caroline looked a lot more relaxed than Gabriella.
I was about to say that.
But really good, yeah, really good. While we're start the heat, obviously, with John and Diego. Have you watched much of the event throughout, Daz?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of the event, Matt. There's not much I've missed. I'd say Yago and John are the form surfers of the event, apart from Gabrielle, who was in the semi. So what else can you say?
Yeah, I thought I couldn't honestly couldn't say it better myself, mate.
And honestly, Matty McGilla was the other form surfer of the event.
Yeah, he looked like really sparky.
Jesus, how high is the standard of this competition that he's just in the semis and looking like he deserves to be?
Yeah, and I thought like I really liked his heat. He was early in the comp, but he surfed against Barron and he like kind of wiped the floor with him.
Hey, wiped the floor with Ethan Ewing, of which I'm a little bit
Yeah,
dark on you because my fantasy surfer team got smashed. And obviously, you were telling me before the comp that Ethan Ewing was the one. And I just think now, in retrospect, when you look at a wave like El Salvador, which is a little bit sectiony and windy and stuff, that I think we now know that Ethan needs a clean canvas to get his spices juiced.
yeah. I mean, it's weird, but it could really come down to the board he's on as well. Like if the board he's on is like as bladey and as knifey as people say, then if the wave's not as perfect, then it can catch, it can be a little bit unforgiving. I don't know. But yeah, I was actually about to say like we obviously do like highlights and lowlights or whatever we want to call them throughout. And Ethan is definitely the biggest disappointment of this event. I know Griffin lost quite not quite early, but Griffin kind of lost kind of early and
Okay,
um
quickly, while there's no waves going on, the Griff JO interference, would you accord it as a judge?
I'm struggling with it
Yeah,
because
I wouldn't have called it, Matt.
I I just I've watched it and I don't really know where else he could have gone.
I just think they both were wedging each other and neither one had a priority. So why would you say, for example, that should have been JO's priority? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Um, like it's one of the weird ones where I can understand, like, if you like look at the letter of the law about did he stop like what's
He
their wording? Did
he
he
did paddle under him
yeah, what's the wording they use? Did
the
he
last one
impede
in a the scoring potential.
yeah, and I would argue that yeah, he probably maybe did, but also like Jao didn't even pop to his feet or try and pop to his feet. He kind of like I think it was a bit of a Medina move where he saw an opportunity and took it.
I mean, I understand him going for it. I don't blame him.
No.
I think the judges shouldn't have caught it because I just don't think it was as clear cut when you, like, here, if, or am I wrong? Did he have priority or was that before priority?
No, I think he had priority.
Okay, so if he had priority, I'm all for it. I didn't see his started heat. If he had priority, I would have caught it because he just got up in his grill, which Gabrielle's tried to. Oh, here we go, John, first wave.
Oh, I'm behind you.
There we go, John, nice front side, top turn, nothing outrageous. Big air, sticks it. There we go. There's a
Oh
two-way
yeah.
maneuver. That's John.
Oh,
John can match it with anyone, but I think it's a 7.
oh, nice air. I think the difference in this heat is like Yago's going to go single air, single wave maneuver, like single maneuver wave. Like he's just going to pretty much fly down the line and try and do as big as air as possible.
I don't know about
John's,
that. He's been doing innovative airs.
yeah, innovative air for sure. I mean that indie
I
grab he
seen him
done
do one earlier on,
manual,
and then he did 6 snaps after it. But I could be right. You could be right.
but
That's a good air. That's a good air. I'm gonna.
but
What? Did you
John,
see it?
yeah, and the first car of like the first top ten's pretty spicy as well. Oh, it's good. Like landing as well. It's pretty seamless landing. I'm I'm gonna go double J 7.5.
Okay, I said 7. I'm now. I think it's too early for him to throw an 8 at that, so he could be right. 7.5. What's your call on the wave? A lot of people have been slagging it off.
How can you? I don't get how you can slag it off.
Never,
Really,
never do I.
it looks
Just
like
looks
I don't know
looks
if it's a
fun
little bit
as.
because I'm a bit wave starved. It's been a bit flat for here for about just over a week now, so I'm like absolutely gagging for a wave. But it looks like absolute perfection to me. Like,
Surely it's not. We know it's not J-Bay, but J-Bay's a different sort of wave, which is hard to surf. And it's here goes our friend the Maestro Yago, straight up. No, nearly lands on his fins. Probably has to come in to go straight to the hospital. That would have been silly.
that would have been a yeah, a
Um,
plastic
what
surgery.
was I going to say? I
See
think
what I mean?
it's.
But I think he's going to go. I think the difference is he's going to go like he's going to go try and go real big early on the wave so that he's got time to paddle back out.
I think it's a fantastic addition.
Or has he done something to himself though? Because he's
I
just
think it's a. I think he's done something to his board. I think it's a fantastic addition to the tour this board. He's done something to his board, so he's straight over to his caddy. I wonder what he did. Look who his caddy is.
8.5 for John.
Oh no, I thought it was Gabrielle, as if Gabrielle would go out there and do a caddy. 8-5. So they've made the classic mistake of wedging themselves in.
Yeah,
Here he goes, JJ.
I'm a
Bit of
little
a
bit
slight
behind.
pump, slight pump. I'm ahead of you, so I'll
Yeah.
commentate it and then you reflect on it. He's just gone for a fast, slight pump to
Oh,
a nose pick air that he doesn't land.
oh yeah. Oh, the straight air was pretty.
I mean, if he's sitting on an 8-5, he may as well just
Well,
go
he's going to
out
be back out
now.
without priority. He's going to be back out with priority as well because
Yeah, he may as well just go out there and sit on Yago now if you want to be a winner as opposed to a surfer.
the only thing I'd say is watching Yago against Gabby and stuff like that under priority, the waves that he was going, the waves that like Gabby was letting him take off on, you would probably say yeah, take it, and then Yago was doing like indie grabs and
Oh,
burials and stuff.
oh, he nearly landed on
Yeah,
his fucking fins. He could have copped that one up to Yahtzee, man.
he could have done some rearrangement to himself. Well, I think
Meanwhile, John's building a house, man. He's just done 3 major calves. He's floating down the line. If he finishes off with a
oh,
crack, it's a 6.8. No, it was a lame reverse. Well, I think that's what really annoys people is those inside lame reverses as opposed to something that Jago's, but then Jago's just done 2 lame reverses as well.
well, yeah, I guess with the John one as well though, that's the end of the wave. He's just done like 4 huge turns on the end of it. The thing for me with those reverses, as a coach or as someone who watches it, like it's a really hard, tricky one because John's just like he's looking for a backup like to his 8.5 to like really build his house.
I
And
reckon he should have finished with a bit of a slam.
yeah, But at least his was a variation where Yago just went two same turns.
Look at that. His bum, he literally bum cheeked out the centre fin. And Jack Robinson's on the beach, scored it. He's going to take it home, check the dimensions.
Oh yeah, complete fin box out of it. Oh,
I got a feeling that Yago, as cool as a cat he is, could be looking a little bit stressed there because he shouldn't have taken that wave and done that unless he was just trying to put his wax in the heat. I mean, I'm calling for Yago and for nearly anyone in an event where it's honestly, if you look at the scores, it's turned to innovation. Apart from the girls' side, and he was the leading player, and he's taken out Gabrielle and Semi, which would feel like an anticlimax then coming into the final, even though 7 against
yeah,
John's never an anticlimax.
a
Do
little
you
bit.
understand what I'm trying to say?
Definitely. Yeah, like he's got so hyped up to beat Medina that now he's got to surf again. He's got to kind of re-hype himself up.
7 against one of the greatest surfers in history. I wanted to make a comparison of John to Tommy Carroll, who's a little bit before your time. But Tommy Carroll had a lot of time out with injuries. I heard before on the radio Chris Cote saying or Mitch Salzar, he's had 24 events out due to
24, yeah.
injuries. Now, Tommy did that back and forth, and continually made the top 5 and semis and became an all-time legend in the sport. And John's the same sort of, you know what I mean? Like enigma, like big wave, like which Tom Carroll was. So he's a people's surfer. Everyone loves him. He's got the bravado and he's got the competition, but he hasn't yet been able to like go on to that MR, Tom Curran, the 3 times world champ sort of thing.
Yeah, I see the comparison. I think it's a fair comparison. Tom Carroll's sick. I've seen a lot of his yeah, I've seen a lot of his surfing as well.
There's Shaq talking to AJ on the beach. She's got down there on the rocks. She's got a light blue shirt on, and you know what, like,
and her iPad.
I guess that's interesting for us. If
I
you
mean, yeah,
listen to the event,
talking about his board of 511 Roundtail Mayhem, which is 511 for Yago Dora, pretty good size.
what's his name's there trying to look like the Godfather, Matt Biolis.
Yeah,
Most serious inflated man in surfboard industry.
yeah. Some of the stuff he's been saying about like alternative surf design and alternative surf shapers and stuff, and what he says about him are just like, fuck you, Matt Wireless.
Is he slagging them off? Yeah, he
He's
slags
just
off the
chatting
girls'
so much
market and
shit,
everything.
as if he's creating the fucking reinventing the wheel every time he does stuff, and like
The reason these guys have got these riders on their boards, you know why? Because
why?
they give them to them. Because
Yeah.
they give them to them. They give them to them, or they charge them cheap.
Mm. And
Like the local dude who they grew up with and stuff can't do it anymore because then all of a sudden they need 30, 40 boards a year. So then it just becomes a monopoly of the big boys are able to swing these guys the boards, and they have multiple locations around the world that they can get boards picked up from.
100%. And then they're the same people who fucking get bummed out when their board only sells for £650 and someone else can sell a 20 for £1,000. And it's because the 20 for £1,000, you never see it discounted and you never see them given away. But at this moment in time, 20 minutes left of the heat, so 20 minutes into the heat, John's on 16.33.
It's all over, Red Rover.
Yeah, no, but Yago's not. Yeah, it's not all over with how, like, he's. Yeah, he's. Yeah.
Do you know? My call is that I think Yago can get 19 points up front, but can he come from being 16.33 points down to get 19 points?
Yeah. is it going to force a bit like what you saw to happen to Gabby?
Well,
It's
here
like,
we go. He's on a wave. He's on a wave. He's going to have to get it on this. It's a beautiful wave. Massive snap. Here he can get an 8 if he does himself. Oh, blows it. That's it. She's
I was about to
roasted.
say, this wave is an 8 on its own. Like surf it properly, that's a kind of easy 8. But a bit like this is exactly what we saw Gabby do against Yago. Is he's pushing too hard to try and get out of that combo. If he just surfs like he's been surfing, I reckon he can get a couple of 8s. So it's only an 8 and an 8.5 that he needs, and he's been doing that all event. So bit touch and go for that. I wanted to mention though, you mentioned about the Jow Griffin interference. I did want to say, like, it was pretty sick to see Zhao Chanka back and surfing good. I thought he surfed really cool. Like, I liked his surfing, and yeah, I
No,
did.
he's incredible. He's the torque he can put into a turn. Honestly, it's unrivaled. John, I think, used to, he still does. It's a similar sort of turn to John.
Mm,
It's full body torque, man. It's incredible to watch. I think Griffin would have beat him in that heat, obviously,
yeah,
but yeah, it's good to
such
see
a,
him back.
he's
Great
such
style
a
of surfing.
dangerous. Like, I feel like he's one of those guys that, like, whenever you see him in a heat against anyone, you're kind of like, I feel like they are like, I don't want to get Zhao.
I wouldn't. Yeah, that's it. If you're like picked a fantasy surfer team and your surfer comes up against him, you're
you're
sweating.
sweating for sure. Like, yeah, I
And there's one which I wanted to bring up was Gabriella Bryan in the last in the final there. I don't think anyone can match her front side on the whole tour. And I think at the moment she's maybe got to get over a little bit of the winning an event
yeah.
hiccup.
I think I completely agree. I feel like she's a little bit like if she wins one, it might open the floodgates.
I don't think
Um,
anyone can match her. That front side hack she does, and it's also stylish. Okay, so here goes Dora again on a great looking wave. Now, if he doesn't get an 8 on this,
and this is under priority.
this is under priority. He's going to turns, which he should.
It's a
He's just
smaller.
done 6 incredible turns. He's easy got a 7.5. So there you go. As usual, I'm kind of wrong.
Here's
Oh, there we go. Massive wave.
here's
John
my
behind him. Oh, John catches one behind him, falls.
here's my thing
Is
with Yago is for
is
me.
that a 9?
Wow, yeah, 9 club, yeah, for sure, yeah. If John's is an 8.5, that's a 9.
Okay, so if he comes back, that's a sign that he's got the metal.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to say about Yago, regardless of whether he wins it, so I want to say it now or not, is for me, he is like, and I know like loads of people say it's for me, he's the best backside surfer on tour because he's got
Because of
the
his
most
range.
his variations, even on the face, like not his airs, on the face, he's the only guy who does like 6 different backside turns on a wave.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you
And
100%.
that's
I've
why
seen
like
him. I thought
it's
from his
sick.
first wave he was going to win this comp.
Or John was on a good one. He got like 3 pretty good turns and then doesn't pull it down. Um,
I'm counting Yago's turn. He's at 3. That's four great turns. One of them was a cutback. So it's 5. 4 vertical Rios and a cut. 4 vertical Rios, 2 cutbacks, and an inverted backside out.
I'm
That's
going
a
nine.
9.
I'm going
That's a
straight
9.
9. 9 on the button
9.
for me.
9.2 because it's I reckon it's 0.7 of a point better
Yeah.
than John's at the start, which was just one big turn and then maybe a bigger air. Was it?
Mm.
Maybe not.
The only thing I thought was Yago's wave was slightly smaller than John's first one, but
And
that
Yago's
shouldn't
was
really
his
come into
air
it.
was right down the end instead of right at the start.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sticking with just landing on a straight 9, which puts him straight back in it. Like
Mm.
this heat's just got interesting again.
Yeah, what a great event. Now, if they had this same sort of wave as a left, then you're talking dream tour. Like the next event, instead of having like Cloud Break's great, but best wave in the world, but
What did he
maybe
get?
like a left point break, 9.7.
Damn.
They cooked him, but it was a massive wave, man.
I don't
Now he
know.
only needs, listen, now he only needs a 6.5 with 15 minutes on the clock.
I just feel like that's a little high. I don't see that wave being a whole. But this goes back to
I
your
do.
point. This
I
goes back
see
to
it
your
as it's
point,
1.2 better than John's.
but it goes back to
Easy.
your point as well at the start of the heat that John's 8.5 was overscored, so
Mm,
they've had to go that high on Yago's. Like, I
yeah.
agree with you that maybe it was a point better than John's, but now to get a 10 is the limit. Like, and they've like with 15 minutes to go, they've put a limit on it now.
They should have probably had John's first wave as like we said, a 7.5, and this one would have been a flat 9.
Yeah,
Was
but
pretty good, man. It was a massive air at the end, and he did, like
it
I
was
said,
clean.
count 4 good vertical Rios and 2 stylish cutbacks.
And like we said as well, the vertical Rios, all of them had a little bit of a difference to them. One was like
That's
right in the
5
middle.
major maneuvers and
Yeah.
2 transitionary moves
I'm not
moves.
I'm not mad at the difference in the score. I feel like there was about a point difference. I slightly think that maybe both waves were slightly overscored, but I guess it's in context right now. We'll see where it goes.
Can you see
Um,
how where people's emotions go in a thing like
I
this?
always feel like the finals, the scoring's higher. That I think it's a thing that the WSL try and get like the final is one of the highest scored heats of the event, just because um it looks better at the end of the day, doesn't it? But
Mm.
yeah, I think El Salvador has definitely got its place on tour. And like you say, Cloudbreak is close to being. I mean, can you
Maybe
imagine if you had
Cloudbreak's
Cloudbreak on
better.
the right?
Cloudbreak's better than this because they can do turns and the barrels.
Yeah.
But I'm
Have you
thinking
heard that?
something a little bit less consequential, where the dudes can just go bananas on a
Yeah.
left.
Have you heard that Cloudbreak's meant to be the final destination for next year?
Yes, yes, I have heard.
I I don't love that, if I'm honest.
I
But
love it more than Trestles.
I would say I do love it more than Trestles, but I just feel like I personally feel like the final should be somewhere. I know at Trestles there is a slightly better one, but you should be able to go left or right.
Yeah, well, the good thing about Cloudbreak is as a left, you could performance-wise backside, and as a left, as a natural footer, it's got room, and you've seen over the years Kelly, Parko, a few people are able to absolutely target, and so are the goofies. You understand what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like Chopu, or it's a pretty good thing. There's nothing really better than pipe, honestly.
No. But yeah, definitely take Cloudbreak over Trestles. That
Maybe pipe's a little bit more discriminatory in the
I was gonna
sense
say, I
in the
don't know
sense
if
that you can
yeah.
get that lucky wave where cloud break maybe can you can get a lesser quality wave and still beat the person on a better quality wave. I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
and I also think with pipe is, for example, John has a big advantage out there that if he paddles out at any point of any time of any day, he gets the waves he wants. But if, say, for example, Liam O'Brien makes the top five, he doesn't paddle out there. He's not getting the pick of waves that John is. So I don't know if pipe's necessarily like the fairest final destination, but like if it goes cloud break, I'll be buzzing. But I'd like to see it somewhere where there's maybe like where's like the best A-frames in the world?
Yeah, even Lakey Peak, I think one
Mm,
way's better than the other. I think it's more a case of the need to do something that's 2 days. I reckon they could do Lance's rights, but Lance's is just it's a fantastic way for tubes. I don't know
yeah,
how it
I
is. It's
think
too perfect. They wouldn't be able to get infrastructure out there. It's in the middle of nowhere because on the other side of the island you've got Lance's lefts. That's
yeah.
all, which is an incredible wave as well. I think they honestly need to just go back to and I don't think they will back to seasonal format where it's the best
Yeah,
over the certain events.
talking about that, because that's something else I wanted to bring up. Like, I agree with you, kind of. So we've seen how far John's ahead now. Like,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if he doesn't win this, he's got a £7,000, 7,000 point gap. Um, and if he wins this, I think it goes up to like a 9,500 point gap, which is crazy. And
Oh, look
it's
at that. They're showing us a spread on John's at 8-5. Every judge scored it at an 8-5. Every
yeah,
single judge. And the spread's pretty good, huh? And in Dora's, the lowest was a 9-5, and the rest of them are 9-8s with
weirdly as
197.
well, that was from a Brazilian judge.
The lowest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think they can get into that position. I think that they'd be feeling a little bit nervous always giving their countrymen a high score. I've
Yeah.
never been wedged into the opinion that like that because an Aussie judge is going to give an Aussie scorer more. They've got to
No,
be
definitely not.
a little bit professional enough that if they get into that job, they've pulled their weight in the judging process, which they've probably been doing for 15 years.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. Um,
So the nitty gritty is, and this is competition. There's 7 minutes to go. John's got priority. Yago needs a 6.56, and he's in ultimate form. Can he do it? And here comes a wave. He's just gone straight under John, and he's going for it.
yeah, these are the dangerous ones. These are the ones I was saying about under priority.
He
Yago,
let it go.
he's liking these.
He only needs a 7.
Oh, didn't go. Didn't go on my screen.
Anything else in the event tickled your fancy, like Molly Picklum going big air in front of the rock?
Yeah, I thought Molly was pretty good. I thought Katie surfed really good against Tatiana. I thought she surfed really, really good against Tatiana. And then got blown up by Gabby. Um, I thought actually, well, it was pretty cool to see Brian Perez beat Italo,
Yeah.
and he done a mental air. That air he done was crazy.
I thought Liam O'Brien was one of the other incredible form surface of the event. He did these two back-to-back turns combo, which against John, which I thought was underscored. It was just incredible,
Yeah,
searing. Ryan Cullen, great.
yeah, Arco done really good. Well, who's that heat he done against? Where Conor O'Leary commentated it. It was against
Liam.
Liam. Yeah, so yeah, I was about to say it was against another Aussie, and yeah, he surfed really good.
I think
Yeah,
Cole Hushman kind of maybe was exposed a little bit on uh, I'm not going to say one-dimensional surfing, but lacking a little bit of variety, which maybe
yeah.
is just a case of nerves in a heat. That be trying to do the same thing?
I think
And
it's a bit of that, and I think it's a bit of like they're so drilled in to do like the free to the beach, make the finish, like especially on the challenges. It's like make sure you finish a wave, make sure like kind of made like I don't know. It sometimes is a little bit like maybe that's why it's so repetitive.
then
I
you
thought,
can easily exposed against someone like Gabrielle or Ryan Callahan or Yago, who
yeah,
those are my top pick. I mean, kind of they're all incredible, but like Ryan Callahan, his variety and style is just
yeah. Him and Yago, they're both like they're what I say is like they're the free surfers who like backside wise, they're the free surfers on tour. Whereas like Cole is a comp surfer. Also, I did want to say, I'd say my biggest surprise of the event, and it's not like a huge surprise, but I was really surprised that Leo beat Ramsey.
yeah.
Because Ramsey in the first heat, although he didn't make it through, looked really good, and Leo looked really bad. um, and
Looks
then
very nervous. He looks very nervous now, Leo. And Ramsey looked like he was full of confidence. And this honestly should have been his
yeah, when you think about Morocco,
marquee event. Really, he let this
definitely.
one on the table, didn't he?
Yeah, I agree. Like when you think Morocco, like when I was picking my fantasy team, I'm like, oh, Ramsey, Morocco, point right hand point break. Hello, like he's gonna just
He's
light
someone
up.
who can do the backhand turns that are equal in aestheticism and variety as Yago's airs, for example, where
Yeah,
like you could put Ramsey out there and say, okay, so don't go to the air,
stay on the
but
phone.
do what you do, and you'd nearly have to score him as high if he
Yeah,
nails it.
it's like
Look at this. Look at this, man. 3 minutes to go. They're sitting there. This is fantastic in surfing, isn't it? John's got
yeah
priority.
on his
Yeah,
inside.
Yago's sitting underneath him inside, and now he's got the chance.
Yeah,
See, if he hadn't have mucked around at the start of the heat, like I was saying, I'm not calling it because I also said he didn't have a chance. But remember, he's mucking. He caught a few filtered around on them where they think waves are going to come after and they're going to have a chance. You never know. It can just go flat.
yeah, 100%.
But
And this is where it gets to like the scary bit where John's got priorities. Like, oh, do I let him go? Is there a wave behind it? This is where it's fun, but yeah, let's see. There's kind of that's not really the wave, according to me. I'm a little bit behind you as well, so um, you're already seeing what goes on here. But I think to your point about Ramsey is it's one of those if you was coaching another surfer, like if you and they were backhand, use backside against Ramsey out there, you would be like, don't try and go blow for him on the face. The same as you wouldn't tell Ramsey to go,
see, I wouldn't even say that. That's what I think that they've just got to go out there and surf without thinking.
yeah, of course.
If
But
if if that's their style, they've got to go for it. Here he goes, Yago's. It's an inferior wave.
yeah, this is where I worry because this wave's tiny and the judges get a little
It's
bit.
only a minute 35. It's gone flat. John's got it in the bag. I'm gonna probably eat my
You're
words
wrapping it up.
again. I'm wrapping it up at 128.
John should now. John's got pro now. He should just like literally go and sit on his board. Go and
No, but
sit on
they've
the other
panned
board.
out, you see. They gave me uh a long
Oh yeah, I can see
a
what you
long
mean.
version. I can't see a set coming.
No,
And if there is, John's on it.
yeah,
Well, it's going to be
squeaky
interesting
bum time, as
because
they say.
we've
But
just had two great events and we're going to come. The next event's what, Brazil?
Brazil, Saquarema, which I think is a really sick event. Like I really like it because, and I like it now that they've put like different events before, like Chopes before it, and then this before it. It breaks it up. Like it's not another weird beach breaky,
Here's a wave coming, and there it goes. John's blocked
just blocked in.
Yago. It's a medium-sized wave. They're way deep, and it's not going to be the score. And straight behind there, there's a wave which I think is a medium-sized lame wave as well. So it's 27 seconds to go, and John's won his first event of the year. And now he's a country mile in head. He can easily win Cloudbreak and have everyone in the world complain if
He's
he
won
doesn't
Brazil
win trestles.
twice.
If he doesn't win trestles.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is what now if John doesn't? If John like goes in with like a 15,000 point lead, so like before Tress was even kicked off, he'd be world champ. Um, does
He's
then
mega stoked. He's mega stoked. I'm happy for John. Who doesn't like John?
do you know he's never? That's the first time he's competed there because he's
Hmm.
been injured and stuff.
And if you're Jaeger, you've got to be at least a bit happy. You made the final. You were the standout
Yeah,
surfer. Uh,
he's gone from 19th to 8th, and Gabby's now 6th in the world.
let's have a
Before
look.
before
Rankings,
Chopes, before
live
Chopes,
rankings.
yeah, before Chopu, Gabby was 15th in the world, and now he's 6th in the world.
Well, that's pretty sick. Gabby's got what do you call it? Oh no, they haven't up to date it yet, which will be good because you got to think that he's nearly a shoe in to make the top five. Who's going to get knocked out? I got a feeling that Ethan's out of there. I got a feeling Jack might be safe. I got a
Geordie's
feeling
fucked.
Geordie's fucked. Do you reckon?
Yeah, Geordie's currently fifth, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, he needed to get through to the final there, didn't he? I
Yeah,
don't think he can seal the deal in Brazil
I
and
think
cloud
I
break.
think Gabby's going to win Brazil, and then Gabby might win Cloudbreak as well. And I could see Gabby finishing like third in the world, going
And
in.
what about Molly? You reckon she's going to get drilled out of the top five? Start the year hot, drop drilled out.
No, I think she'll make it, but just
Caroline's now going to be a shoe in to make it. She should go pretty good at cloud break.
yeah,
She's front side there. She's not yet charging, but she's world champ coming into to trestles. And if you have a look at her final, did you see when they do slow motion on how
yeah,
perfect her style is
yeah,
backside?
yeah. It's picture perfect. Um, just because we haven't got long left. But if you're Yago and you're his coach and you get a 977 and lose a heat, is that a little bit
No, because he came back from scratch. Here's something I really wanted to say is if you're going on a surf trip, don't ride a motorbike in the jungle, huh? Or out on the streets, especially in Indonesia or anything. Steer clear of them. Get a driver. Keep it clean, especially at the start of your trip. I've had a friend who recently came up a hard 6 month work stint. Go to Indo. He should know better. He knows he should know better. It was an accident. There was a rock on the middle of the road. There was probably one or two drinks involved, but it's just such a pity to end up in these places and the amount of horror stories you've heard of people on two wheels coming a cropper. It's it's not negligible.
it's especially in a part of the world where it's avoidable. Like a driver's cheap.
There you go.
Um,
And the other one I really want to say is these people who are just hung up on eating all the time. Like I've seen people miss surfs lately because they've got to go have lunch, they've got to eat, they've got to eat. Stop for a minute eating. Like stop. Do live your life. You don't need all that. They don't need all that food. You
no,
don't. Like you can go for 30, 40 days if you're on a hunger strike.
yeah,
Concentrate on living your life instead of like fucking eating and taking pictures of it.
true,
Yeah, yeah.
true.
Okay. Got it off my chest. Love you, Matt.
Love you. This will be out rapid, and we've got a giveaway coming away soon.
Oh, giveaway. DP. A fashion accessories brand named after me. DB.
That's why they're the best.
Love you, DB. Au revoir.
Wow.